This is going to be tough to hear, but you will fail without the right mindset. It's not a if, it's a when. And I know this from seeing so many examples throughout my life. And this isn't just transition related, this is really a life related thing. Without the right mindset going into any challenge, the chances of you succeeding are pretty much nothing. Why? Why is that the case? Because we can't possibly succeed when challenges arise if you don't have the right mindset. I'm going to give you a really great example. One of our clients, obviously nameless, but this client, let's call her Miss X, great job, had a lot going for her, but failed over and over and over again. And then one day we had a call, we had a talk, and I had to do the big sister talk, and it was really a mindset call. And it was, let's stop with the excuses. Let's actually figure out the root of why we keep failing over and over and over again. And it's not money, and it's not desire, and it's not a want for more, but it's this failure of mindset, and being able to reframe and get yourself into that win column again and again and again when things go wrong. Not if things go wrong, but when things go wrong. So this client who had such a hard time losing weight, and then something clicked one day after our phone call, and what's happened since is she's done this amazing transformation. Not because she didn't have a great program, because she did. Because now she's doing the program and she's actually getting those amazing results. But because the mindset wasn't right before. Every time the smallest inconvenience came up, she was derailed. And now it's a totally different mindset. And it's the one of a succeeding one where she's getting results and she's putting herself first. I'll give you an example of what mindset training really looks like. You know, for a lot of us trans girls, we spent our lives bending ourselves out of shape for the comfort of other people so that we could feel safe in the comfort of other people, because we knew that if we were authentic selves, we weren't going to have that comfort. And then one day we wake up and we're like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I choose me. And then somewhere along the lines, you kind of become complacent and you stop treating yourself the right way again. One of the things that I've been working with a lot of our clients on is this concept of the best friend. You know, if your best friend was going through a tough time, was struggling, was constantly beating themselves up and bending themselves out of shape for a romantic partner or for a parent or for a coworker or a boss or a kid or whatever, you would jump right in there and be like, hey, this and this and this and this and this. But you don't do it for yourself. Then I thought of this thing. I was like, what if you were your best friend? You know, start treating yourself like you would your best friend. Start thinking of yourself in that way. Why is that so important, right? Because self-love kind of comes from that way of looking at yourself. Kindness, giving yourself grace, the grace you give other people, but you don't give yourself. The constant berating yourself for the smallest of mistakes when other people make those mistakes all the time and you don't even think about it. I know this very well because I definitely come from a place of my inherent logical framework is worthlessness. And so I have spent a lot of time working on how to dismantle that way of seeing the world and seeing myself in that world. So the best friend concept, starting to speak to yourself the way you would speak to your best friend. And it's amazing how the smallest change in tone, the smallest change in that internal voice that we all do, and starting to say, you know what, I'm going to actually start talking to myself in a kind way. I'm going to start giving myself grace. That doesn't mean I'm not going to push myself. That doesn't mean I don't want the best for myself, because why? You want the best for your best friend, don't you? Well, how about you start treating yourself that same way? Wanting their happiness? Well, look at it. Wanting your happiness. I want my happiness. And then once you start doing that, it's amazing how much more you can give to all of those other people. And amazing how much more present you can be. And it's amazing how much more you will do for yourself as you start actually believing that not only are you worth it, worth your happiness, worth the goals that you set out to attain, but it's amazing how that self-love actually flows out to other people. And you start bringing that energy towards you as well, because then you'll start finding people who are just like you. And it's just this a good energy exchange over and over and over again. And it just amplifies everyone. So, mindset, it is the key to all of your goals, be they transition, weight loss, building that booty, getting that job, whatever. If you've got the right mindset, you will succeed. If you don't, you won't.